My music career kind of came as like a funny story. So at Lowell High, if you know, you have to take I think 4 years of gym or gym equivalent. So at first I was going to the Vogue for graphic design. And then I went to school for a couple of days. I was like, oh, I don't like this. So then I went to Lowell High and I was like, I don't want to do gym. Like, I don't want to swim. So I was like, well, I don't want to do ROTC because I don't like that kind of stuff. And it's like, I don't want to dance because I don't want to do like stage stuff. So then I was just like, what's show choir? Like, probably just have to like sing. And then I just get like an A, whatever, no gym. So then I go into it. And like the first day of class, we're like singing in front of the whole class. And we had to learn a dance the next day. So it's just like, oh, like I guess I'm stuck with this. And then over time, I was like, maybe I kind of like music. So then after doing it for a couple of years, I was just like, I think I want to do this as a career. So I kind of came into music at first to avoid like gym. Now I love performing and I love the gym too. So that's kind of like how I began my passion for music.
You had me a hello, and I saw a future. Were you ready to go?
I think for pursuing music was mainly like my seniors. There was one of my seniors from high school, he was doing like an audition for Berkeley. And that was when I was first really surprised that you could study music because it was so new to me. So I kind of sat through his audition just on the side. And I was just like very inspired by him because he would kind of have me shadow him here and there, just like as like a singer. So I learned a lot from him and just a lot about like music theory and just stage presence and stuff. So he was someone I really looked up to do music. And there was also a time where I was doing YouTube a lot too in like middle school and high school. So like there was like these two artists that are well known now, like Cody and Troye Sivan. So I was following in their steps for like vlogging and stuff. And that's kind of how I fell in love with digital media. And then they started doing covers and they started uploading music. So it's just like, wow, like I can do that too. So kind of going back to how I found love through music, through high school, coincidentally through avoiding gym, I didn't know I can do all these multiple things together. So I was looking up to them a lot. I think it was times when I like first started performing this year. So I had a lot of opportunities to perform at UMass Lowell and at Pailin Park too for Khmer New Year. So I kind of had an idea that my music was getting somewhere, I wasn't sure. So performing it for our city in our community and seeing them like sing along and like being happy, I was just like, this feels right. Because I started in like 2020, that's when I started writing music, but we're at home and we're on like our devices. So I was just like, oh, I'm just putting it out on the internet and like, we'll see what happens. So being able to be on stage in front of people performing for the first time, like music that I made, it just felt right. And there was people like younger than me too that are also Khmer. And it kind of like made me think about myself younger, just not sure like, oh, I don't know if I can like be on TV or like do music and stuff. Like I don't see other people like me doing that. So that's when I felt really proud. And that's when I felt like it influenced my drive a lot. And having been at Sabadi Fest this past weekend too, seeing a lot of other Khmer artists and a lot of Southeast Asian musicians too, that's what really brought up my drive more to really want to do this. I would love to perform at Sabadi Fest next year. I think just seeing all of that energy and culture really brought something else out of me because it was like, yes, I do want to do music and be able to touch other people through my music. But also seeing like my people on the stage, I was just like, I think this is like the right community I need to be like going towards. So I'm going to Berkeley for professional music, which is like a interdisciplinary major. So kind of how I can't choose what I really love to do. It's a major where you can mix. So it's a music production engineering, songwriting, and business mixed together. So it kind of dabbles into a little bit of everything. Right now I'm on a break because Berkeley is a really expensive school and I'm not getting a lot of support from the school right now. So I'm taking breaks here and there, but with my experience so far, being in and out has been really good. I've met a lot of like other artists and a lot of my seniors who've helped me build up my music as well. Like my most recent song, Goodbye, was made with a lot of my friends over there too. I've always been so scared to work for like a really big company because like I know there's a lot of instances where it's just like they take a lot of creative control. So that's something that I always feel like I have to negotiate with. But I think I kind of wanted to work more towards like the Khmer original music and like the Khmer labels I kind of wanted to go into, there's a label called May, which is working with one of the most famous Khmer rappers right now. So I kind of wanted to see like how I can navigate my way into like the Khmer music industry. It's a big stretch. Like the biggest rapper, Vanda, like he's on the top right now. Like I would love to work with him, like maybe on the more production side. I'm not sure if I can take on songwriting in the Khmer music world right now, but I love to work with him. And there's like another artist from the US, a Khmer rapper. Her name is Bella. I would really love to like work with her on like her music too. To break it down into genre, I would feel like R&B is kind of like my staple, and that's like where my comfort zone is right now. I would say my first few songs are very, very vulnerable. I would say they're very emotional and they're very deep down into emotions for someone who's first listening. So it can be like, whoa, like this is a lot. But I feel like darker or like dark R&B and kind of like more acoustic is what I'm trying to go for. But right now, like with that third song, Goodbye, like throws it off completely. It's very like pop and bright. So I would say my music is always changing, like my genre and my sound. So I would say there's something for everybody. I always wanted to try like K-pop too, like writing and producing for like the K-pop industry too. In Berkeley, there is this club I'm a part of called Campfire, where they group songwriters, producers, and engineers together to work on like a K-pop song. So through that, I was able to write a couple demos that are in the works right now. So I feel the K-pop music world is so much more, what's it called, like engaging and fun, and it's kind of more free. So I feel like it's more lighthearted and very easy to work with. So that's kind of something I wanted to adventure into. I think one of the advice I needed when I started out was probably just to like, you have to be cringy. Like there is a dancer I worked with for a music video. He's inspired me a lot with his content creation. And one of his mottos was just like, you just have to be cringy. Because if you just put stuff out and you're always kind of just like tough on yourself, just like, oh, I need to set up the camera this way. I have to like look this way and talk this way. But if you don't let yourself be embarrassed, you're kind of just holding up this shield from your actual personality. And it's not helpful for you to get over your fear of just putting yourself out there. So there's times where like I have like voice cracks on stage, or there's times where like maybe like my cover video wasn't so good. But I think you kind of just have to just do it. And you kind of have to allow yourself to just be yourself unapologetically, because that's how you'll find the right crowd. I think if you're putting up a certain image or like a very strict like mission for yourself, you're going to attract the wrong people and they'll expect that thing from you. So you kind of just have to be yourself and the right people will find you. Yeah, so there is a event coming up. I think they do it annually here in Lowell called, I think it's the Block Party in the Acre. I was just asked to perform there. So that one's going to be happening in September, and there's a lot of dancers from Lowell, and I think there's other musicians as well that's going to be performing. So that's one of my next live performances that's happening. But as for like my productions and things coming up, I just filmed a music video 2 weeks ago in New York, and that was done with actually like a family friend. Like the song was made in like 2 hours, and I feel like I made that song with my family friend, and then we kind of didn't expect anything from it. So then did this music video in New York on like a whim. And hopefully that's coming in August, late August, early September. So that should be coming out pretty soon too. I'm pretty active on social media. I think my Instagram is probably my number one. So that one, my username is Mr.Pailin. And then I also have a website I just started up too, pailinmusic.com. So I'm pretty active on there, not so much on like Facebook and such. But yeah, my social media is the best way to contact and keep up.
Give me a goodbye. Yeah, it's you. Thought we make it through. Just wanted a goodbye.